Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Philip, also known as PS or PS Enough. Today we are going to talk about book reviews. Just finished reading a book. It's this one, Portuguese, O Flagelo dos Céus. In English, it's the Lathe of Heaven. Lathe being a mechanical tool that you use to rotate objects and cut them and saw them and whatever. So it's like a workbench tool, sort to shape the heaven. Um, This is the first novel I ever read from Ursula K. Le Guin. I know she was very famous, and I had heard of her quite a few times. I never read anything from her. Christina recently got some books from the local library from Ursula Le Guin, and this one seemed rather short, so I just randomly picked it up. I had no clue it was actually a classic of science fiction. I only realized it halfway through once I registered on the Goodreads. I noticed the ratings there. I was surprised that it was quite high rated. Um, and I kept reading it, and indeed, it's really good. I really enjoyed reading this one. It's the story is pretty much about a man that dreams of things, and when he dreams, he can change reality. And this is pretty much the whole basis around the story. And then from that basis, it forks into all kinds of different things that make, like proper science fiction should do or usually does, makes you think of alternate realities and what is the good thing, what is the bad thing that he should be doing, and at the same time dealing with this weird situation where he's ends up finding a solution. First he tries to avoid. Sorry if I'm spoiling the story. If you don't want any spoilers, you should probably stop at this point. Otherwise, I will spoil the story on this video. Um, so the story pretty much is the guy is having these dreams. He tries to control these dreams by using drugs to prevent himself from dreaming. It doesn't really work. Then he's caught over prescribing himself or using other people's cards to get more drugs than he is legally allowed to. Sent to this doctor's quarters where he has to talk with a psychologist, which um, is very reluctant to believe this man's story that he can shape the world with his dreams. But then they start realizing that it's true and how they can use that to change the world, to make the world a better place, to make the world heaven. Um, it's very interesting because you see a lot of different kinds of societies that emerge from these different kind of dreams. They morph into different kinds of societies. There are reflections on uh, dictatorial regimes or with a dictator in charge. The references to the only way to have peace on Earth would be if everyone on Earth would be coming together against a common enemy. Um, there's alien invasions. There's action. There's romance. And there's a woman that gets involved into this mix, trying to help the dreamer George to get away from the hold of his psychiatrist. But it's a really interesting read. It's a light read. It's not very heavy. It's a fairly short book, but it makes you think a lot about of different scenarios and what is the different meaning of heaven for different people. What is the perfect society? What is the normal society? The one that you want to live in is really not having any racial differences the best way that you want your life. You think that people will stop having conflicts if everyone would be the same color. It happens when in one of the dreams everyone turns gray because the doctor thought it would be nice if there was no more racism issues. The only way to have that is to be completely bland. You lose all sense of cultural identity, and everything just started feeling wrong for George once he noticed what he had done with that dream in particular. And a lot of other small details like that that make you reflect on things and what you want society to be, what the perfect society should be, and what people actually end up doing. And as always, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the psychiatrist that is treating George ends up trying to take the power for himself and making a bit of a mess out of it. Um, so yeah, that's a lot of food for thought. I really enjoyed the read though, and I highly recommend it, especially if you like science fiction or if you're new to science fiction. The book was originally published in '71, so it's older than I am, but it's quite still insightful into the future and the way the Ursula managed to predict uh, some aspects of our society. I guess in the '70s it was already, or in the '60s rather, it was already somehow predictable that these things would be. So not much vision in that regard, but still a very interesting read and very way to 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 contextualize and think about these kind of things. I really think it holds up the test of time. Like I was reading this and I didn't feel like I was reading something that was written 40, 50 years ago. So it really stands the test of time. It feels like it could have been written yesterday, and the storyline would still be pretty much the same. So yeah, very interesting in that regard. Anyways, hope that's it. Or that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. So I'm a bit messing up words. I don't think you guys really mind, do you? So let me know what you guys think on the comments below. If you like these kind of, if you already knew about Ursula Le Guin, if you have read any other books, if you can recommend me anything else from her. I know there's Earth Sea that is very famous from her, and it's more fantasy, not so much science fiction. As far as I've heard, I know I heard that one's pretty good, but I have the impression that Ursula Le Guin has a rather big body of work. So any comments would be appreciated. Let me know what you think about this book, other books of hers. See you next time. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.